La 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 boo 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 boo. Serbia, Sanja Ilić and Balkanika, or Balkanika, depending on who you are, have performed their song Nova Deca during the first rehearsal of Eurovision 2018. Should we talk about it? Let's do this! That is right. Serving that Balkanika realness, they of course are known for taking traditional sounds and then kind of mixing them up and getting them ready for the dance floor or at least the local festival. This was really interesting and there's a lot of split opinion. It harks back to Eurovision of old, where people were a little wild, a little crazy. They would do things that are spiritual and out there to Westerners. They're throwing in a drum to, kind of make it a bit more stomp. I don't know, the women seem to be dressed as goddesses in a way, and then you have the drummer in the background, something very urban, and then you've got Sanja Ilić doing it's very modern kind of, this choreography, it's like, I don't know how to describe it, but he's very spiritual and holy.
Well, it's the other guy, Sanja Ilić isn't in the performance.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't say that. The other guy is, doing this. It's just
the
really...
The vocalist.
Yes, it's really interesting. I don't know how I feel about it. At times I felt the camera angles were very messy. And it's like, they have an idea, they have a concept, but the camera angles are not conveying it. It's like the camera angles are messy. And when they tighten that and get the angles right, it'll look more sleek and polished and professional. Because right now it does look a little messy.
Right now there's moments where they zoom out and the stage looks quite empty. And it shouldn't, because they've got the full quota of 6 people. But there are elements that really work, and it's even at some points it's almost like an ethnic Charlie's Angels, because the ball man is there and the 3 women are pulling shapes and like they're going down low and they're doing their chanting and they've got kind of the coordinated outfits. And it kind of does have that vibes, but like it doesn't have the same zany appeal, obviously. But I've always quite liked the song, and I think the song, it still is good, but it doesn't have the same atmosphere that was in the Serbian national final. That some of that has been lost. I don't know whether that could be down to the staging or the positioning of where the artists were on stage, or the dresses, because in the national final they lifted up their sleeves and they kind of had the material, the drapes came down, whereas now it's more, like you said, kind of like a Greek goddess style dress, and it's just more traditional and it's plainer. There's less adornments to it, so they, like, in a way, in the Serbian final the dress was a prop, now it's just an accessory.
It kind of looks like Pastora Soler's dress from 2012.
They've added a lot of really unnecessary choreography to this, because I really liked it. Had atmosphere, actually. What you're saying, the national final version, it created a kind of moment, and even though that was still quite a big stage in the national final, it kind of felt like they were all in the right place at the right time, and there was just nice movement. You had the flute guy coming in to shot and all that. He's just sort of like carted off to the side here. He really doesn't feature, and instead they're all sort of posing. There's a couple of it just really doesn't read well, and it just feels very flat. I think that the lighting, it's orange to begin with, and that's nice, but I liked the blue that they had in Serbia. Like, there's a lot of things, if they just reverted back, I think that would do this a world of good, because there's a lot they're just unnecessary changes here, and the atmosphere that was there is completely gone, and by 2 minutes in, I was really bored. And this was one of the ones I was really looking forward to today, because I love me a bit of good ethno-pop. So just really disappointing, actually, especially after Romania have upped their game. And Norway is Norway. This is the first one where it's the dip in the semi-final at the moment. And that's a real shame, because Serbia, they love... Their national final was one of the best, and it's just a shame to see it kind of now at this point.
2 points. I really love the elderly gentleman at the beginning with the gray beard playing the traditional flute. Amelie Forrest, you brought youth. They are bringing age, and it looks really well. I cannot speak this morning, forgive me. It looks really good. It adds that ethnic flair from the very beginning. Spiritual draws you in. And I actually quite like the orange lighting. It's very Origo from Hungary. And at the beginning I was like, ooh, Origo vibes, this is going to slay. But then it did slightly fizzle. The ultimate problem for me is that the stage is swallowing so many of the performers, because it's so big, so you need tighter camera cuts, make it more intimate. That was the thing about Beovizija. It was a smaller stage, and so they felt more present. When you put them in this massive orb, or whatever it is, universe, stage, boat, you become diffuse. The energy is just diffuse and it's spread out over all this space, and you lose that sense of cauldron of energy. Take us back to that cauldron of energy. Make it tight, make it right.
Yeah, pretty much exactly that, really. I mean, they can do a lot with camera cuts. Because I think that the choreography might work if they just kind of told the story better, but they sort of like just fade in and out. It's like they're just hitting their marks. Fair enough, it's the first rehearsal. This is the time to really work on it, and hopefully they'll go to the viewing room and they will make those changes. But yeah, there's just something not clicking there at the moment.
I think simple camera cuts will make a big difference.
Yeah, I don't really have much more to add. It's camera work needs to be fixed.
Absolutely. You guys slay. Just fix those camera cuts. In any case, that's what we think. What do you think? Are you loving Serbia? Do you think Serbia is in with a shot to make the final? How does this compare to 2016 when they sent another ethno song? And are you loving that urban drummer as much as I am? Let us know here on wiwibloggs.
Make sure to subscribe and switch on the notifications.
And make sure to leave a like.
And we'll see you later. Bye.